Welcome to this explainer. Okay, picture this. You hear that heavy thud of the car door clicking shut. You instinctively pat your pockets, and boom, your stomach just drops. You've locked your keys inside. It is literally the worst feeling, right? Today, we're dissecting the anatomy of a roadside emergency, specifically the dreaded car lockout. Because whether you're just stuck baking in a sweltering parking lot, or even worse, pulled over on a crazy busy stretch of I-35 with cars zooming by, it's not just frustrating. It completely derails your day. So we're going to break down exactly what happens and, more importantly, how you get out of it. Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever actually been stranded on a major highway like I-35? Man, if you have, you already know it is way beyond a minor inconvenience. It is a really high-stress reality. You've got cars literally flying past you at 70 miles an hour. You feel super vulnerable, and your safe, climate-controlled little bubble is locked right there in front of you. It's a sudden crisis, and it demands a really rapid, effective solution to get you out of harm's way. Here's our roadmap for today. First up, we'll look at the sudden car lockout itself. Second, we'll explore why these lockouts actually happen. Third, we'll evaluate where this fits among other roadside emergencies. And finally, we'll wrap up with the professional rescue process. All right, starting with part one, the sudden car lockout. So how does a totally normal everyday commute towards San Antonio, or just running a quick errand in Schertz, instantly turn into a full-blown roadside crisis? Well, it's simple. Time is absolutely critical. When you're locked out of your car, especially on a heavily trafficked route, you are suddenly a pedestrian in an area meant for heavy, fast-moving machinery. Add in extreme Texas weather, or trying to manage keeping your passengers safely away from the roadway. Yeah, every single minute you are stranded out there matters immensely for your overall safety. Moving right along to section 2, why car lockouts happen. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that we almost always just blame ourselves, right? We assume we messed up. And sure, leaving your keys inside or losing them happens all the time. But look at the technical failures here. Broken key fobs, jammed locks, and get this, dead car batteries affecting your keyless entry. You could literally be doing everything perfectly right, but a dead battery shuts down your electronic locks, and suddenly you're stuck outside. So it is a modern tech issue just as much as it is a momentary brain freeze. Which brings us to section 3, evaluating roadside emergencies. And this brilliantly illustrates how a lockout stacks up against other things that can go wrong out on the road. Think about it. You've got flat tires from a puncture, or running out of gas and needing an emergency delivery. But take a close look at the urgency assigned to a car lockout. It demands a professional unlocking service, and its urgency level is cranked all the way up to high. It's not a minor hiccup. It's treated as a very serious logistical challenge. Notice how flat tires and running out of gas sit at medium urgency? Yes, they are incredibly annoying, but here's the catch. You usually still have access to the inside of your car while you wait. On the flip side, car lockouts, dead batteries, and complete vehicle breakdowns force you outside. They separate you from your primary source of shelter. And that is exactly why lockouts are grouped right up there with severe mechanical failures as a highly urgent situation. Okay, our final piece of the puzzle, section 4. The professional rescue process. Let's move to this timeline and see how this builds, because we know this is a high urgency issue. How do the pros actually fix it? Here is the exact procedure from local Schertz towing experts. Step 1 is a 24/7 dispatch. Emergencies definitely do not stick to regular business hours, so help has to be ready day or night. Step 2, a 20 to 30-minute rapid response. Speed is everything when you're exposed on the shoulder of a highway. And then step 3 is the actual resolution, damage-free unlocking. So why is it so important to trust local professionals for this specific timeline? Well, this breakdown shows their huge logistical advantage. Obviously, a fast response in heavy traffic is crucial. But look at that second point, knowledge of local roads. If you're stuck off some confusing exit on I-35 or buried deep in a Schertz neighborhood, a local tech actually knows the traffic patterns. They know the shortcuts to get you way faster than someone dispatched from a town over. Combine that specific route knowledge with 24/7 support and modern tools, and you've got an incredibly efficient rescue. So the crucial point is really understanding damage-free unlocking. This means trained technicians are using highly specialized, modern tools to open your vehicle without scratching a single drop of paint or breaking the locks. This totally busts that common myth that calling for help is going to ruin your doors. Honestly, a lot of people panic, thinking a guy is just going to jam a piece of metal down the window glass and destroy the internal mechanisms. Nope. Modern pros do not do that. They use precision techniques specifically engineered to leave your car perfectly intact. But what happens if you're dealing with a double whammy? Say, a dead battery knocked out your keyless entry, so you're locked out, and you also need a jump start. The good news is that data shows these roadside professionals offer comprehensive help. They can knock out flat tires, dead batteries, and fuel deliveries all simultaneously during the exact same visit. You aren't just getting someone to jimmy a lock, you're getting a fully equipped mobile response unit capable of resolving multiple concurrent problems right there on the spot. Which brings us to our final provocative thought, summarizing everything we've covered today. Are you prepared for your next commute? We've mapped out the entire anatomy of this specific roadside emergency. We've seen firsthand how a simple dead key fob or just 1 second of distraction can flip an ordinary drive into a high-urgency crisis needing rapid, damage-free professional intervention. Knowing how this rescue process works isn't just neat car trivia, it's about being actively ready for the unexpected. Take a second to consider your own readiness before you hit the highway next time. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and hey, stay safe out there on the road.